Yo, what's up, guys? Martin over here. So it's been some time, time for apologies a little bit later, and I'll explain as to why I was missing. First off, sorry for the audio. My microphone is not connecting right, so everything that you're recording or that you're hearing is coming off straight off my phone. Um, Listen. So we got two things to talk about today. The first thing we're gonna talk about is, of course, the game that happened today, which is a Classico. Listen, if anyone did not watch the game, right? First thing is first. The score is 4-0. None of them were Lunen's fault. None of them. And that's the only guy in the field who I could say was completely like nothing that happened today he could have stopped. Right? So you can't look at him in a negative way. Right? The game overall, man, it was a fucking shit show, dude. The first half was insane. The first half was a fucking perfect Classico. Now Madrid had most of the chances, especially in the first 25 minutes, right? Vinny missed an open shot. I feel he's getting a little bit too much hate for that shot because even though it was open, like if you see, you'll see what I mean. Like there's more. He could have definitely finished better, but I think it was more of a difficult situation to finish in than most people think. But he still missed a shot. You know what I'm saying? So he still missed it. That's still an L. Bellingham missed that. It was, first of all, even though it's offsides, that block by Pena, bro. Like I know a lot of Barcelona fans were worried about him, but dude, like he fucking had a match. Like he's been having from the games that I've seen. I'd be lying if I told you I saw every single Barcelona game, but the games that I've seen, he's been pretty decent. And today it was, to me, he was the man of the match because even though a lot of those freaking offside, and we'll get to the fucking Mbappe's offside soon, he still blocked a good amount of shots. So he definitely kept them in the game because it feels like it was one of those games. If we scored first, it would have been a completely different outcome. And we could have scored first. We had the chances. The first half was it was a great first half of football to watch. If you're a neutral, if you're a fan of Barcelona, it was, ironically enough, they won 4-0. But if you just walked away at halftime, Barcelona were not in the best position. You know what I mean? If you ask me who was going to win the game, I'd say it'd probably end in a tie, or Madrid would win the game. Obviously, that didn't happen, and that is because of what happened in the second half. First of all, Big Carlo, he has a thing, and he said it before. He doesn't like to switch players off at halftime, which I get. Like his reasoning is that, or basically what he said is, let the game happen. Sometimes it takes a little bit for the players to get adjusted, and Madrid is known as a second half team. You know, but what Hansi Flick did, simply by putting on De Jong, is why sometimes you have to throw that shit out the window. He saw what was happening in the game. He saw they were losing possession a lot in midfield, so he put in Frankie De Jong. Instantly changed the fucking game dramatically. I was actually doing something in the kitchen when I know right when halftime started. It came in like minute 47, and immediately I saw like, all right, De Jong's in. So it's gonna change one way or another. It's gonna fucking change, right? And it did. It did immediately. Um, after after he came on, Barcelona's midfield was much more structured. It was much more stable, while our stayed the same. Uh, After that, basically Lewandowski scored. The first goal was amazing. Militao completely missed that slide. I feel like Mendy could have done a little bit more. Maybe he couldn't reach Lewandowski in time to completely block it, but I feel like he had enough time to just jet at him to kind of make him, to put him in that a little bit of a pressure where he might, even though he's a world class striker, he might hit the ball at least a little bit weird. You know what I mean? I feel like he backed off a little bit. Rudiger backed off a little bit. So either way, more than likely would have been a goal. But I feel like they could have done and put in a little bit more in that run, right? Whatever. First goal happened. Second goal, 2 minutes later, Lewandowski header, Rafinha corner. Can't can't really say shit about that. You know what I mean? It was a good goal, good play overall. And they were up 2-0. The thing is, bro, any Madrid fan will tell you 2-0 with what, 30 minutes left on the clock. It's no real reason to panic, right? Right? Well, fucking wrong, bro. Fucking wrong, because it was not working out. The First of all, the defense has suffered a lot. It has suffered so much this season. Yes, we still have injuries, whatever it is, but regardless, like the coverage is just not there. Right? They're leaving these wide open spaces, and the thing is, it's not just this game. It's not just a Classico. This right here is just the most important game of the season up to now. right? But if you've been watching the games all season, bro, like you see, like they're leaving these spaces in the back, and it's just fucking inexplicable. Like I don't understand it. Sure, Manny's doing a good job of covering the midfield, but how is it that in my mind, Cruz, right, who was never known, now Cruz is Cruz, you know, one of a kind, but he was never known for his speed. He was never known for his speed. He controlled the game in an amazing way. But bro, like tell me who's gonna reach the fucking ball first? It's not gonna be fucking Tony Cruz. You know, like 8 times out of 10, it's not gonna be Tony Cruz. But when he left, man, like it's like I the stuff that he did defensively, I honestly overlooked. I overlooked it. It's crazy. It's crazy to me how much it ended up being that he did defensively. Now that not being part of the fact that he left, that he was the main engine in the midfield, what I believe happened is very quietly and subtly it changed from being Modric to Cruz, right? Now no one noticed it. I'm talking about being like the main engine of the team, right? So it changed from Modric to Cruz, but no one noticed it because they were playing together all the time, right? So you noticed that a little bit last season when Modric was starting to come off the bench a little bit more, but when he came in, he still had impact. And you're noticing it now that Cruz is completely gone, man. Like, it's insane how unstable that midfield is, bro. Especially with the names that we have. Now, with that being said, everyone is still young. Valverde's the oldest one. He's 25, right? So he's still going to be, he's still some time from reaching his prime, which a lot of people will argue, and myself included, that Cruz walked away at his prime. Or at the very least, he was still up here. Maybe at the start of this season, he might have gone a little downhill, but he finished up here, right? But yeah, man, that midfield is such a shit show. We need, like, Chouameni needs to get better at just reading the game overall. He's great at it. He could just improve a little bit. But even today, just the overall lineup in the midfield didn't really make much sense. Like, you didn't have too much creativity, especially because you have Bellingham playing so far back as compared to last season, man. And that's the thing where, Mbappe threw everything off. Now, not to talk about Mbappe. Mbappe, bro, has been a waste of space since he got to Madrid. Since he stepped foot on the field, he's been a waste. There's many times where I see him and I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, you could do more than just stand there and wait for the fucking ball to get to you, bro. You can make these runs. You could put pressure on these defenders. You could do this shit. If he did half the shit that Vinny struggled today too. Did not have a good game by any means, right? But you still saw him doing some of the shit that Mbappe just refuses to do. Like, do you know how much more effective it will be if someone like Mbappe with playmaking skills like Mbappe can come back and grab the ball midfield, bro? Like, he doesn't do that shit. He doesn't. And the thing is, a lot of the arguments between him and Haaland is that Haaland can't produce his own shots, right? He's just a tap-in merchant. That's a big argument against him. Well, you know what, bro? What's Mbappe doing? Because the majority of his goals this season have been nothing but penalties, dude. Nothing but penalties. And he has what? He has, I think, 10 goals. 6 of them are penalties, right? So where are the chances he's creating? He has the few tap-ins. He has that one golazo from outside the box. Gotta give him that. But, like, really? That's the one thing? That's the one goal you're going to take away from his entire time being here so far? No, man. It's just a waste. He doesn't do the shit that he's supposed to do, bro. Like, Madrid is Madrid. It's not your club. It's not PSG. You're not in a club where you're bigger than the club. It's just that's not the situation. And regardless of who he is, Ancelotti has to bench this kid. He has him, dude. If he does not bench him, he's never gonna fucking learn. He's gonna say, all right, everything I'm doing is fine. I just gotta try to get the ball in the net. Well, when that doesn't work, bro, like today, what are you gonna do? What the fuck are you gonna do? Not to mention, dude, this man fell in 8 offside traps, bro. Ironically enough, the one I don't blame him for is the one that he was the most offside. He was like 2 or 3 yards offside, and the reason why I don't blame him for this is because he looked at the ref, right? It was one of those offsides where, bro, like immediately, like clearly offside. So he looks at the ref for about 2 or 3 seconds. When on the field is a long time, right? So he looks at him. The ref doesn't say anything, so then he goes. So even though he was the most offsides there, I don't really blame him for that one. But all the other ones, bro, like even I was like, bro, like, and I know the game, obviously, right? But I'm not a professional. But even if I go outside and fucking play, right, in a pickup game, even I would clearly be able to tell that that's an offside, bro. So what the hell are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And on top of that, you're the most experienced out of the front, right? Out of all of our attackers. Adapt. Fucking adapt. Like, you have the speed to go in and not be constantly caught offside anymore. Your speed is one of the main reasons why people wanted you and why you grew to be as big as you are, right? You're like Thierry Henry, a jet. So it's okay to go a little bit, more down than you would want, and just do the run when it's time and not get fucking caught off sides. Jesus, man. But dude, he's been a complete waste, bro. Like it's I cannot justifiably tell anybody that he should be starting over Rodrigo. I can't. And there was a few games like out of the past like 5 games, Rodrigo's been healthy, but he's been benched like four out of 5. Like why? Is it for his name? Like that's why you're benching a player who obviously fits the system better. Like he might like in a 1-on-1, yes, Mbappe might be Rodrigo, bro. He might, and not even might. He probably would, but it's bro, like it's not golf. You're not. It's not a one player team. The player who overall fits Madrid better and makes it a better team is Rodrigo. That's it. Now we have an overabundance of talent in the midfield too, and he's got to start changing or trying some formations. Right now, at this point, bro, we gotta try. We just gotta try anything. We gotta try anything. We gotta try giving more minutes to the people who deserve it, right, bro? Like right today, I would have taken Endrick on top. Rodrigo's out injured. I personally would have put Endrick on top. Now, say what you say about Endrick, right? He takes long shots and shit like that, but he's still young. He's still adapting to a brand new league, right? Like Yamal is, you cannot compare him to Yamal. Yamal is definitely better, right, overall. But he also grew up in there. So it was, of course, it was going up from the youth leagues. It's adaptation, but it's also different going from a completely different league, a completely different country, to another one. It's a different adaptation process. It's, but dude, I really don't know what else to say, bro. Like he's got to change it. Like he'd never do it, right? But to me, the perfect formation would be this, right? So obviously you have Courtois in the back. No argument to me, and a lot of people who, rightfully so, he's still the best keeper in the world, right? Inarguable. Now the thing is, bro, like it's very hard that someone would try this, but just try going to a back three, bro. Just try going to a back three. You have Rudiger and Militao, right, who are top 10 center backs in the world, right? Alaba, I'm not, dude. First of all, I don't know what's going on with Alaba, but you have players who could play in that position right now, right? Like you have. Like if you really wanted to play Vasquez, you could play Vasquez in it. If you really wanted to play Chouameni, you can move him from where I have him here, put him in the midfield, put Camavinga in there, move out of it. Like there's a lot of shit you can do in order to accommodate having those back three right now with the injury situation, right? But best case scenario, Militao, Alaba, Rudiger, right? Fine. Chouameni right there is your holding midfielder. We brought him in because of that. He's shown even in Monaco because of that. Right? So give him time to grow. He's going to be able to be, maybe not as good as prime Casemiro was, but that's saying fucking a lot. You know what I mean? So he could still get up there. Camavinga, we all know how much he runs. He excels at left back. But so having him a little bit higher in, as like, in the midfield, he could easily come back and protect you when you need to be protected. But he could also give you that offensive threat. He gives you, to me he's a better, well-balanced player in that situation than Mendy is. Mendy's faster, and Mendy is a little bit better on attack, but to this day, I don't really trust Ferland Mendy as a defender. It's weird, but I don't. Right? On the other side, Valverde, self-explanatory. If anything, from that position, he could free roam and do whatever the fuck he wants, and he will excel in it. Right? But at that point, you have more access to have Bellingham and Rodrigo more on top, and then your 2-4 would be Vini and Mbappe. Now, the thing is, as you've heard before, I'm not a fan of Mbappe right now, man. He is literally a case of he missed a shot. He missed a shot, bro. He missed it in 2022. He missed it in whatever. He missed it in 2023, 2022. He missed it. And what happened is, if he came over before in 2021, 22, right, he would have easily kicked Vini out. Easily, because at that point Vinny was still struggling, so he would have come in. It would have been his position, right? Benzema would have still been in for that year, so that Champions League winning year would have been Mbappe and Benzema, right? So that spot would have been his, but no, he fucking took his sweet ass time. He waited, and now who's gonna displace Vinny from the left? Nobody. And now I don't think Mbappe's a better left winger than Vinny is. I truly don't. But even like, let's say he is, right? Out of only one player could be in the left. So who are you going to put in the striker position? The player who's better at that position. And out of those two people, out of Vinny and Mbappe, Vinny's a better left winger, and Mbappe's a better striker. So he'd still be playing there regardless. But yeah, dude, it's a shit show right now, man. Ancelotti really needs to figure something. The best thing that can possibly come out of this match is something hits him and he starts benching this kid, because if anything, this right here to me would be a lot better if Mbappe is out. We put in Rodrigo, right? So then you have the two Brazilians up front who communicate a lot better, right? And who just you could just see play better, like overall. Like to me, Rodrigo, yes, he is underappreciated, I believe, but it seems to me like he doesn't like he wouldn't mind going second fiddle to Vinny. Like he knows, he's still up there, and honestly, I believe he has the skill to just have an outstanding year and just win a Ballon d'Or, right? So you put him there, and in that spot you put Arda Güler. Listen. Every time he's played amazing. He's still young. The hype around this kid is real. He's like the hype around him was kind of like Odegaard, but Odegaard, remember, he was 15. Like that pressure gets to. At that point, this kid is 19. He's shown what he can do on the international stage and in the club. The few times he's played, man, he's looked good. But you gotta give these just like Barcelona does, man. And so I had an argument with my boy a few months ago, and I still stand by what I meant. So I told him if PSG, it was back when PSG was rumored to give to offer 250 million for Yamal. I was like, bro, like you'd be dumb not to take it. Yes, you would lose Yamal, right? But and I don't know if you guys know this, but just a straight up transfer fee doesn't automatically fix all of their financial issues, but it would be a big chunk of it, right? They could start buying back the rights that they sold when they pulled those levers. They could start doing a bunch of that shit. And the reason why I was confident telling them that wasn't because I was trying just yes, hopefully they do get rid of Yamal. Shit, hopefully, bro. But bro, no matter how much I hate them, their academy is fucking amazing. They just keep on producing gold, time after time after time. Pedri's an exception because they did buy him from Las Palmas, I believe. It was a very low amount, maybe like 3. It was like a 3 million, and he was offered to Madrid, and we did not want to pay that much for him. It might have been an L move, but to be honest, even though I love Pedri as a midfielder, I really wouldn't replace him as a starter in Madrid. Right, but whatever. Aside the point, but that's the thing. They could just produce these talents, man, and you just gotta give it to them, man. Like their youngsters stepped up, bro. Their youngsters stepped up, and it's not like our people are old. The only thing is, bro, like you just gotta make a team fit, and sometimes having the best player doesn't make the best team, and that's the case of this man. Like he has to get benched. He has to. Because the best case scenario that happens is when he gets benched, he realizes what the fuck he's doing. He goes back onto the field and he starts stepping up. Because most of the issue I have with Mbappe is not even missed chances, bro. Like you're gonna miss chances. You're gonna have those games, and we've all seen all the best players ever have those times where you're just gonna miss. Ball's not gonna go in. It's gonna hit the post. It's gonna you're gonna have those games. My problem with him is most of the time I do not see the effort in. If it has anything to do with going back and just grabbing the ball. And there was an instance again today, just like a few weeks ago, right? All he had to do was just push up a little bit, and I think Kubasi would have been Kubasi, how do I pronounce it? Kubasi would have been in a lot of pressure, and not 100%, but it would have put him under more pressure to possibly lose the ball in a very beneficial time for us, a place. He didn't do shit. He just fucking stood there, bro. Vinny, instead, who was farther away, had to go against them. The only thing I could think of is he would have lost who he was covering, but you're talking about them being on a defensive end anyway, right? If he loses the ball there, everyone could just push him, pressure him anyway, and more than likely get the ball back. Bro, like do something, bro. Do something, bro. Jesus, but. Hey guys, sorry, it's long as fuck. It's like 20 minutes. But yeah, guys, how do you guys think the season is going so far? Is it going how you thought it'd go? Because it's definitely not going the way I thought it would go. And hopefully we just see some improvement, guys. Shit. To the next one. Deuces.